through a lot on this journey of all the Flash games of yore, and we've seen a lot too. But the fact remains, no matter how many I cover, there are just way too many Flash games out there to cover in a timely fashion, even if I had like 10 years to do it. So, let's take a look at some of the other Flash games that may have been a bit unassuming at first glance. Early on, you'll know I covered Super Drift 3D. Did you know they also made a spiritual successor to that game? They didn't go in the direction you'd probably expect though. This is Super Rally 3D, the first game in the Rumble Sushi series to not use a drift feature. Still fun as hell though. Now this is an interesting one, because we all know the Rumble Sushi formula at this point. You have a bunch of cars at the beginning, one of them are unlockable, you have all the stages, and the unlockable car has to be unlocked on the final stage. But how about you have 4 cars which all get unlocked progressively the longer you play, and every single stage needs to be unlocked progressively, and instead of a drift feature, you can make it normal AI or difficult AI. Now that is dedication when talking about Rumble Sushi. And if anybody's wondering, no, you can't skip to the next stages like you can do with the cars. But seriously, how has Rumble Sushi not fixed this yet? The game itself is a weird Flash version of the Colin McRae games. All you have to do is use the 4 arrow key buttons, or WASD key buttons if you swap them around with the function key, and then all you have to do is just drive to the end. It's less complex than the Super Drift 3D game, only problem is, the Super Drift 3D games are already not that complex to begin with, so if you have something that's even less complex, I usually play this while having my left hand actually being stuffed inside my head, you know, like with that board soda stance that everybody does when they're like sitting at a table, and my right hand actually playing. So yeah, it's good, it's just, it only requires my right hand to work for previous mentioned reasons.
While your right hand is doing this, your left hand can be doing...
Is this what Gianno did to kill Chocolate in the 7-page Madaf? Earlier in the series, you would have recalled me saying, not even the sequel is this good. Actually, I think the sequel kinda sucks. I played it before and yeah, it's not that good. So why is that? To put it simply and get more to the point, Chaos Faction 2 is a clunkier version of the first game with worse GUIs, slower gameplay, and why do they talk? I liked it when they were more silent and more but now they're Look at this simple game right here. What would you say if I said that this was the beginning of the Henry Stickmin franchise? The basic idea of this is that Random Stickman has to get across the pit, and he has 8 different ways of doing it. You can kind of tell where this bears some resemblance to the Henry Stickmin franchise. Only difference is that every single option fails. Sorry to spoil it for you. But it kind of reminds me of those sort of, you know, animations with Mario where he's like trying to get to the flagpole or trying to hit the button. Oh, it brings back some childhood memories of mine. And now I feel like I'm obligated to talk about completing the mission because I didn't talk about it before. And you know why I didn't talk about it? Because it isn't even out yet.
Little baby child.
Here's one I wasn't able to talk about because it wasn't the correct genre. This game is multitasking the video game. How, Batman? How are you still alive? Essentially, it's an infinite brawler, but you can summon in Blue Beetle if you have enough Beetlejuice or whatever. And if you do, it's basically impossible to play without because he has this one attack which is absolutely broken and helps you survive the bullets. And it may sound easy by the beginning, but Jesus Christ, this can get difficult. Oh, come on, I didn't even get it! But it's all made up by the Batman's upward kick animation. Interactive Buddy is a brilliant simulation of real life. Hey, you double attack me, you son of a... So essentially what this is Torture the video game. He is my canvas. I am Picasso. You know what time it is? I think it's time for an obligatory montage. Go!
Gun, 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 gun.
And now here's a game that I didn't get to review because I didn't get the title correct. King's Rush is a game that I really really thought was King's game, but apparently it isn't. Well, at least it means I get to talk about it now. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't as good as King's game. That's basically pick up and play Angry Birds. But this isn't that bad either. Just the feeling of being able to go at the speed of Sonic while being able to crush people on the way is this feeling that I just can't describe. Only problem is this damn egg over and over. Go, fellow king! Transcend light speed to reach paradise falls without the enemy stopping you, so help me God! Wait, Paradise Falls is from Up, isn't it? No, you beating this! We're talking about every other Flash game. How can I forget the savior of primary school lesson periods, Run 2? For you see, Run 2 is on a little website, it's very tiny, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called Cool Math Games, and the teachers saw the word math in it, and math games, so they assumed cool math games? Don't block that website, but in reality, there wasn't any cool math games on it, so that you could just play Run 2, which is a really addicting anti-gravity temple run style game at your leisure. Beat the teachers again! Seriously though, Run 2 is great. It's like the Koala Brothers of Flash games. Nothing too insane for a dumbass kid like me who just wanted to sit down and play a game about aliens flying in space. But with enough of a cool and amazing anti-gravity alien running atmosphere to enjoy it all these years later. That brings back good memories of lesson evasion. Anyways, up next with something completely demented is a small car that is hard to control. The result of what I can only assume was a bucket load of drugs. Okay, that's not entirely the case, but what would surprise you is if I told you that this game was my child self's Dark Souls. Because you see, there are these star things here, and there's this little surprise thing if you get all of them. So, I did. And good God, it took days of work for my younger self. And I think I cried when I was like seconds off the time I needed. God, I love this game, but I also hate it. Oh hey, there's a first person camera. I wonder if I can do better in first person than I can in third. I give up, the jokes write themselves. One that I really wanted to play but didn't actually get to be able to was the Batman game creator, for one big reason only. Because Cartoon Network removed the Persona Man, as I like to call it, is essentially the Sonic the Hedgehog of all the Flash games, because what you have to do is just start somewhere and you have to run fast to get to the end. Only difference is, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog mixed with Temple Run, because you have to run away from a person or something that has to kill you. And it's not actually that easy, to be honest, because some of the stages can be ridiculous. Like, look at the Sweden stage! Imagine if you fell there! But what I mean by it's pretty difficult is that it actually managed to kill me one time. Ah, sweet! The ending! Now, one that I really wanted to play but didn't actually get to be able to was the Batman game creator, for one big reason only. Because Cartoon Network removed it. God damn it, you didn't! I even went as far as directly downloading the Flash file, only to be greeted with, guess what? The infinite loading screen of doom! And now, the one you've all been waiting for! Super Smash Flash! And no, I'm not going to be covering Super Smash Flash 2, because one, I don't have the time for it, because I have both time crunch and depression, and two, I never grew up with Smash Flash 2, I only grew up with Smash Flash 1. Hell, when I played it, I didn't even know what Smash Bros. Was! Let's have a look! Now, first of all, you may be questioning why I'm playing Pikachu, even though I am very clearly a Luigi main in the real Smash. Well, it's because of this glitch I discovered as a kid way too early. Game! What just happened there is, I think the momentum of the characters had to be increased by the quick attack that Pikachu just did there. Only problem is, I think it's a sort of multiplication depending on what it is. So, when they're running at maximum speed and it multiplies it by like 2, they fling off to New York like they have a minute to spare until they need to... Okay, this line's terrible. The game itself? Now, I get that I'm a bit biased here because this was technically the first Smash game I ever played, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a Flash game classic. It's a little too slippery and outdated. You know, it's very slip around the stage like an oiled floor and use 5 attacks to fling people up stage. This writing's also terrible, I'm so sorry. But for some reason back then I found Race to the Finish hard. Pfft, really? It's just 2 jumps and you win. Of course, the B guys are a little annoying, but they're easy to deal with. And also, damn, I remember Master Hand being a lot easier in my head. Because, God, these subscribers are going down faster than the Pro Jared! Super Smash Flash, the final game I'm gonna review. Maybe aside from these ones that I didn't include in the video because it would have lasted longer. And maybe these games as well that I forgot to include in the entire series. Maybe I'll review them another day, no one knows. And that's it. I believe I finally reviewed enough Flash games to fuel up my ship. And you know what that means, right? It means I'm coming home. Hey! Disembodied voice on the control panel! Do I finally have enough fuel to get home? Well, no. Wait, what? I've been reviewing Flash games for over a month and I still don't have enough fuel? Well, you only have about 70% of the fuel you need, and we barely have enough time left. What are you talking about? It's February 6th! I have plenty of time! I still have 10 days left to do it! Well, it's actually February 14th in the fictional world. Oh! Then how do I get enough fuel in 2 days? Well, there is one way. Then tell me! Time is ticking, old man! Well, somewhere in the world of URLs, there is a game. No, a website that is, in my opinion, the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. Something so foul, wretched and diseased that anybody who dares to head towards it is traumatized for months or maybe even years on end. It ravishes with almost 970,000 victims in its wake, endlessly waiting for what mindless kids that would never see the unwilling years of torment to mindlessly stab on the website and put them in the traumatized group of the undeserved. Okay, you're over-exaggerating. I mean, what website could possibly do such a thing? Oh, just give me a moment to print it. Well, this is awkward. Yeah, if you think this is slow, you should see the fax machine. Oh, don't worry, I know. It's finally done. So back to what I was saying before. What game could possibly do such a thing? Well, now I can finally show you, as much as I don't want to.